Howdy, friends and floor heads. Happy Monday night. It's time to play some 7th Sea. We have got Zoe Jackson here from the writer's room. And of course, to my left, you can see John Wick, the creator of 7th Sea. But guess what? I'm not doing. I am not running this game. I get to play today. So, Zoe, over to you.
Hello and welcome back, listeners and friends. I'm going to give you a brief recap just in case you missed what happened last time. Last time there was a party, and all of our lovely heroes were invited. And they were all there for what they thought was a good time. It was not, in fact, a good time. They were there because they had slighted Prince Alcide Mondavi himself, one of the 7 powerful merchant princes in Vodacce. In fact, the one who likes to hunt in his off time. And I don't mean the animals, I mean the most dangerous game. After a brief capturing and specifically poisoning on Siegfried's part, all of you woke up in the middle of a field where you were stripped of your weapons and only had the clothes on your back. It was then that Dawid tore off his wig, took off his makeup, and revealed himself to be a member of Sophia's daughters, specifically here to smuggle Oriana out of Mondavi's lands. Very quickly, all of you realized that you're in grave danger and you need to flee. Now, Dawid has a ship waiting about 2 kilometers out to take all of you safely out, but you just have to get there first. And through many trials, many tribulations, and a few traps, you made it to about halfway there. And that's when the head start was over and Alcide Mondavi caught up to you. We left off with Alcide Mondavi taking a shot and shooting Siegfried in the shoulder, incapacitating that arm. And the dogs have been set loose. We are going to jump directly into an action sequence.
Dun, dun, dun.
I am going to need approaches from all of you. For our listeners, an approach is how our heroes are going to solve the current problem. The current problem is that Alcide Mondavi is here and he's going to hunt you down and you need to get to that ship, which you can see just on the other side of the trees. So, who has something for me?
I'll do my approach first.
Sure.
All right. So I'm going to look at my character sheet, and I'm going to take 1 trait and 1 skill. And I think, looking at my character sheet, out in the middle of nowhere, I am going to be using my wits and my perform.
Perform?
Yeah, actually, let's make it panache and perform. That's my approach. Panache and perform.
And how exactly are you using panache and perform in this situation?
You'll see.
You could be coy and not tell me, and I just won't give you extra dice for flair, but I will give you 1 bonus die for using panache and perform the first time this session.
I am going to rush off from the rest of the party, making as much noise as possible and shouting, "Oh my goodness, they're chasing us, and run the opposite direction that we're going."
Aha, and lead them away. I see.
And lead them away.
Okay.
I'll go next.
Yes, please do.
Yeah, Telford, especially with kind of the duality of David and he just, finding out, who Oriana really is, and Siegfried has been shot, and Telford may not be the bravest of the crew here. So I am going to use finesse and hide and really try to get from here to the ships as undetectable as possible and as slyly as possible. I will keep an eye on everybody because I have a little bit of a soft spot for Oriana, but I have a softer spot for Telford.
Yeah, you're like, me first, and then everyone else.
Well, I'm no good to them if I'm dead. So
Very, very true. In fact, you're worse off to them if you're dead.
correct.
Perfect. Take 2 for flair, and John, also take that 1 extra, so you're taking 2 for flair as well.
All right.
Ori or Siegfried, do you have an approach for me?
I'll go second.
Okay. Well, Oriana is really scared. This is terrifying. They are being hunted by their father.
These are not the dogs from the house. These are the hunting dogs.
Nope, these are not the friendly dogs.
These are not the big goofy Great Danes that hang around at your house.
Yeah, these are the dogs I've probably been specifically instructed to never go near.
Yes, in fact.
So I think I'm going at this with resolve and athletics. I'm just doing my best to get out of there. And I don't think I can outrun these dogs, but I can't give up either.
No, you can't direct. Now, I will say that in between you and the ship is a very thick forest. So on open ground, absolutely, you would not be able to outrun these dogs. However, there are many trees, many bushes, many roots, a lot of things that can make the dogs go in different ways. So you can outwit them here a little bit. I like that. Take 2 for flair. And Siegfried, with the bum arm, tell me what you got going on.
So, what I had an idea. Oh, I'm so sorry. So, I'm using brawn and weaponry, and I'm using the fire. I have a fire in my hand.
You do. You did make a torch.
I do. So, I'm going to be using that again to try to make a barrier of sorts, and I am part of that barrier. I lead the dogs to me, and I make the. No, I'm not talking to you. Sorry, phone. I'm going to. Well, I should probably use intimidate and brawn, actually,
Like
because I'm intimidating the dogs.
Right. You don't actually want to fight these dogs.
No.
Okay.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Despite the fact that they're hunting me, I don't want to fight the dogs. So I'm going to use the torch, making a cone to me, so that I can intimidate them.
I like that a lot. And Braun, you're really throwing your weight around, both literally and figuratively, because even though these dogs are larger than normal dogs, you are the largest. So take 2 for flair, and also don't forget your large die, because this will help you. Ori, take your small die. Being small will help you in this instance.
Very good.
While you are looking through your character sheets to find any extra loopholes or dice or hero points you can garner, I am going to be telling you your consequences and opportunities on the scene. For our listeners, whenever there is a risk, there is always consequences. There might not be opportunities, but there's always some kind of consequence. One of the biggest consequences is that these dogs are hunting you specifically. And if they catch you, they won't outright unalive you, but they will hold you down so that Alcide himself can come and finish the job. You do not want to get caught by these dogs. There is also a ship waiting for you in harbor. However, Alcide has been alerted to that, and so the ship isn't going to be there unaccosted for long. If one of you does not reach the ship by initiative 3, something bad will happen to the ship.
Got it.
Okay. Get to the ship.
Get to the ship. It does not have to be all of you at once. As long as one of you gets to the ship, one of you will be alerted to the danger that is waiting there. Now you're still in Mondavi's reserve, and as previous, you had to deal with a lot of traps. That also means there's traps up here as well. However, these can be used as both a consequence and an opportunity. If you find the trap, you can set it off so it traps the dogs, or maybe perhaps people that are unseen. That's what you got. You got to get to that ship. Don't let the dogs get you, because if the dogs get you, Alcides coming.
Dun, dun, dun.
Dun dun
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
I need more D10s.
Yes, more D10s.
Yeah.
I'll go ahead and roll mine if that's all right.
Well, before you do that,
Oh, please.
there's one more step, and that
Uh-oh.
step is hero points. So each player has a set of hero points. Normally, they start with 1 or 2 if they have the Valiant Spirit advantage, but I am a generous GM, and I gave everybody 3. Now, you could spend those hero points to grant yourself 1 bonus die, 1 for 1, or you can spend the hero points to help a fellow player, granting them 3 bonus dice. You can do that, but you have to explain to me how you are helping.
So who has the fewest dice in their pool right now?
I've got a good bit. I've got 9.
9. Okay.
I should have 11, I believe.
I also
Okay.
have 9.
You also have 9. Okay. I'm going to use my getting away from people. I'm going to spend a hero point and distracting people to help the Fate Witch.
Okay.
Perfect.
So that's 3 we said when you're
3 more
helping
dice.
someone else?
3 bonus dice.
You can't roll more than 10.
Oh,
If you have if you have
So I
more
can-
than 10, what is it, Zoe? Is if you have every die above 10 is just a raise? Or am I remembering completely wrong?
I think you're remembering something completely different.
It's 4 editions ago. Come on.
It's okay.
Yeah.
It's okay. Yeah. Honestly, you can roll as many dice as you can garner. Of course, we're looking for 10s. We're looking to make sets of raises. For our listeners, our players are rolling D10s. This is a D10 system, and they are making sets of 10. And what that means is when they roll, if they get a 5 and a 5, combine that together makes 10. That is a single raise, which is your action economy for 7C. And that's what we're looking for. So I believe you can have as many dice in your pool as you can garner. The only thing that makes it difficult is sometimes I can spend a danger point to make you make 15s instead of 10s.
Yep.
And I am not rolling dice. I am drawing cards.
You are drawing cards. You are activating your quirk, the Oracle, which means you can use the tarot deck instead of rolling dice.
I have 6 raises.
6. Any traders for me?
I have 1 trader.
I will buy it.
Can we explain traders real quick?
Yes, trader dice is, as I said before, you're making sets of 10. So if you have a few dice that don't add up to 10, such as like a 8 and a 1, that only makes 9, that's 2 unused dice, which in 7C is called trader dice. The reason they're called traders is because the narrator or the GM can buy them from my players by giving them a hero point. And I get a danger point, which is my action economy. I get 1 for each player to start and any trader dice I buy. So I now have 5 danger points.
Dun dun dun.
Danger, danger, high voltage.
All right, so I'm gonna do my hide and finesse with my 2 bonus die for flair.
Mhm.
All right,
Look at those dice on the screen.
10 raises with looks like 1 trader.
10 raises and 1 trader. Absolutely. I'll buy it.
Where do I see where people are rolling?
Chat.
It
chat.
should be to the top left of the.
Oh, there we go. Yeah.
You got it. and then if you click on it, John, if you click where it says 10 raises, it'll show you the dice.
Oh, cool. Oh, look at that.
Isn't that cool?
That is cool.
Yeah, we're using Foundry, by the way, which I'm a huge fan of.
Mm-hmm.
6 raises, no traitor dice.
Darn you.
I've also got 6 with no remainder.
Perfect. Love it, love it. So we have 10, Telford with 10, Siegfried with 6, Oriana with 6, and David at 6.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's at 6s. We love that. Now, all of the dogs, by the way, for mechanics purposes, are in brute squads. And on Foundry, I have squads of 4. There's 1 for each player, and there are 3 dogs in that party. They function much like how normal brutes do. They take 1 wound and they're out 1-to-1. So they in order to take out a brute squad of dogs, it will take 3 wounds or 3 actions, however you wish. You can be creative. I have faith in you. And those dogs have 3 raises, so they are not going to go for a while. They also have to run to catch up to you. And so, with an action sequence, we have an initiative order. Telford, you have the highest amount of raises. Could you please begin the sequence for us?
Yeah, so I'm going to use 1 raise to... Now, if I want... first off, I want to figure out the safest, most hidden path, at least as far as I can tell where I am now.
Sure.
So immediately stopping, all hell's breaking loose. I hear the dogs and I see the mast of the ship in the far distance, 2 kilometers away, and not being familiar with where the hell I am. I just want to immediately try to figure out, and however many raises I need to spend, what is the most serendipitous but straightest route I can take.
I would say it would cost you 1 raise to find the deer path.
Okay.
And that will lead you right along the coast.
Beautiful. And if I wanted to bring that deer path to Ori's attention, what do I need to do? How much do I spend for that?
If you want to remain unseen, it would cost 2 raises.
Okay,
to
so
get
I'll spend...
to get their attention as well as to remain hidden. But if you want to stand up and show where you are, then it's only 1 raise.
So what I'm imagining, and Ori, if you're okay with this, let me know. I'm imagining there's Telford. Where the hell's Telford? Right? And Ori, as you're trying to get your bearings, figure out what's going on and everything, you feel a small squeeze on your arm. And you turn around and you can see me in the bushes there. And I say, little one, I have a way.
Okay.
And you head off down the deer path. So that was what, 2 raises?
3 all day. So I've got
3
7
all
left.
day. Perfect. Love that. You still have the highest initiative, but I will give you this. As you're creeping through the brush and rolling over roots, you can hear the dogs barking and coming closer. There's a cawing from above you from a crow. Ah, ah, ah! And it flies down in front of you, flutters its wings, and on its leg is a note. Now, Telford, you're very, very wise and very smart. You know exactly what this crow is and why it's here. It is to deliver you a very important message from one of your network.
Perfect. Ori, stay right here. I'll run. The crow, I assume, has no issue with me taking it off.
Nope, no issue.
I read it.
You read it. Ballista, stop. Coastline, stop. Ships in danger, stop.
Oh, good Lord. Okay. Is there a way for me to get a sense of I might have to get closer. I'm trying to figure out where this ballista could possibly be. Immediately recognizing, shit. So I want to keep moving. And hopefully, Ori, you're okay staying with me. Let's keep heading down this deer path. Let's stay hidden. But I want to keep my head on a swivel to try to figure out where this potential threat could be possibly lodged.
As you continue down the deer path, you do in fact reach. You can smell the sea first, and then you hear the seagulls and the waves as you come closer, and the tree line just stops. There's just a sheer cliff as you reach the coastline. And when you lean over to kind of peek out, you can see hidden on a ridge is this ballista that has a bolt the size of an oak tree. And there are two people that are manning it, getting it ready, and beginning to turn it towards where the ship is docked in the little cove. Now, the ship doesn't appear to notice it. And the reason why, because it is colored in such a way that it blends perfectly in with the rock cliffside. The only time that a ship could possibly see it or hear it is when it fires. And that's usually when it's too late.
So I'm going to point this out to you, Ori, and say, fancy a little adventure?
Okay.
And then we're going to head that way.
Okay. So you spend a raise to find the ballista.
Yep.
And begin to make your way down there. I'm going to kind of bring the camera all the way back from the cliffside to run through some bushes and hop over a couple of roots to Dawood. We are following you as you're running through the woods. You can hear the dogs barking frantically behind you. They're getting closer. You can actually hear the brush and the leaves just rushing by. What do you do?
So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to grab some see, we're in Vidace. So yeah, I'm going to grab some like not evergreen, but the needle trees. I can't think of the right term right now. Just grab them and run it through my fingers here.
Okay.
Like that. And cut my hand and just start bleeding.
Okay.
Nice.
Which means the dogs will be chasing me because I'm bleeding and leaving something that they can. So that's the first thing I'm going to do, which I would like to use my raises to create an opportunity.
Ooh, I like that. Yes, please.
The opportunity is that the hunt is going in the wrong direction. So it buys the other player's time to get to the boat.
Oh, I love that. Love it.
How many raises do you want me to spend to create that opportunity?
Let's do 2.
I'll spend 2.
Let's do 2. Now, as you're running, you grab the branch, you run it through, take a wound from that, and you begin to bleed. It's very sharp, very needly. These pine trees are razor edged, like everything is in Vodachi, and you just start pumping your hands so that all of those tiny cuts bleed a little more and leave a very, very convenient trail for the dogs to follow. As you rush past, you trip a small little wire, but it doesn't trip you up at all. It just sets off a mechanism and something shoots up into the air, and it's basically just a brick of colored smoke that sets off, and the camera just quickly pans all the way out to Alcide as he is casually walking into the woods following that colored smoke and heading that direction.
Oh noes.
Oh noes. So you are down to 4 raises, yes? Perfect. Yep. The camera, as it's getting brushed past and hits a tree branch and kind of tumbles on the rocks a little bit, we see Siegfried. What are you doing?
So I'm setting fire. Everything that I can in a cone. Everything. It doesn't matter if it's tree, twig. Everything I'm doing, I'm making a fire to me.
Alrighty.
So how many would you say that is?
I'd say that's only one raise.
Okay. And can I create an opportunity?
Sure.
And how many would that be?
What
Just
is
one?
the opportunity?
The opportunity would be I'm trying to scare as many dogs as I can.
Okay.
So that I'm trying to trap as many as I can from Dawood's group, from Telford's group, as many as I can.
All right. I think that's only one.
Okay.
Now, for those listening and for my players who are not familiar, opportunities can be activated by you by spending a raise. And that will activate the opportunity, which for Telford and Ori specifically, if you activate that opportunity, it will delay the dogs from getting to you. And that's for both of these opportunities that are on the scene. Now, Siegfried, I'm going to be spending a danger point here. I hope you realize this. Because Vodachi has had a bit of a dry spell lately. And unfortunately, your cone works for about, I'd say, a good 30 seconds. It's a beautiful cone. It's perfect, direct right to you. And then that cone just expands and expands, and it gets bigger and bigger. Ladies, gentlemen, and all in between, there is now a forest fire. Not only do you have to escape from Alcide, you need to escape from the fire.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun. Keith, how many raises was that?
That was 2 races, so I'm at 4.
Perfect. You're at 4. So we see these dogs and they run right directly to you. Now these dogs are take a Great Dane, the size of a Great Dane, take a Mastiff, combine the two, and you have this massive hound with these big tall ears and this big bushy mane and these snarling teeth, and they are bolting directly towards Siegfried. And we watch as the camera is one of those dogs getting closer and closer, and then the fire happens, and the camera reverses out of that point of view, and we see all the dogs kind of, ooh, like, we're bred for this thing, but fire bad, we're very flammable. And they are circling to try and find a way to get to you and to get around the fire. And as we follow that, the camera kind of follows a trail of flames through these dry leaves and these vines as we get back to the coastline where Ori and Telford are. Ori, tell me, what is it that you're going to be doing now?
So I've been running as fast as my little legs can carry me, trying to keep up. And then we get out to where we can see the ballista and the people, and they're on a cliff. I look at Telford and I say, I'm going to do something horrible.
I think that's a wonderful idea.
I want to get an angle so I can use my pull ability to pull them off the cliff.
Oh my God. I love it so much. That angle is very easy, especially if you're right above them.
Yup.
Okay. Yep. If you want to do both of them at once, spend 1 hero point for each.
Yep.
Or you could do 1 hero point and 2 raises.
I will do 1 hero point and 2 raises.
Okay. So Ori, show us again how you manipulate and maneuver these threads.
So what I see in front of me, I see these threads that are leading me to these people. And they might be people I've seen before in my father's employ. They might be people I know. It's a little hard to tell from here. But I see their threads and I weave my fingers into them, pulling the strands into my hands. And I take a deep breath because I know this is not a very nice thing I'm about to do. And I pull and I yank.
We see the camera kind of falls as Ori is tangling these invisible threads in their fingers, and the camera falls down to the cliff's edge where we see these two people just cranking up this ballista and going about their day and probably chatting a little bit, and then all of a sudden they go very stiff and smack against the backside of the cliff, hitting their heads and falling on the ground. What just happened? I don't know. Oh, my head. And the ballista is free for the time being. You've delayed it 2 initiatives. So now the ballista won't go off until initiative 1 instead of initiative 3.
And how far is it from where Ori and I are right now?
I don't really use actions or raises as distance.
Okay.
But you can, it will take you a little bit narratively to clamber down the deer path to the beach where you do see a rowboat just waiting and some person just waiting in the rowboat like.
All right, so we could stay on the trail and get to the beach. We don't have to go down the cliff.
You don't have to go down the cliff.
Got it.
No.
Okay, cool. I'm good.
Perfect. Ori, that brings you to 4. We are back up to Telford. You just watched these 2 people like marionettes get yanked into the back of the cliffside.
So all this to do now makes far more sense. That's just outstanding. All right. Shall we go to the boat?
Yes, please.
Wonderful. So I would like to continue my approach, continue to stay hidden, and I also wish to stay hidden from the ballista. How do I feel about our chances? How much can I figure out when the ballista will become a threat again? Like, do I need to deal, being a smart person, do I need to deal with the ballista before we get to the boat? Or has Ori taken care of that, do I think, from a timing perspective?
From a timing perspective, you'll be fine as long as everyone else gets to the rowboat in quick succession. Now, you noticed that Dawood went in the complete opposite direction of the beach.
Right.
And
I don't think he's going to be joining us.
And
I'm pretty sure he's going to die. And Siegfried stayed behind to leave a path of flaming destruction. Now, as you're standing there calculating, you can smell the fire and you hear it coming closer. In fact, it's starting to get louder than the dogs are. So unfortunately, Siegfried, while he did make a very big distraction, has also made a very big danger.
All right. I'm going to get Ori to the boat.
Okay.
So yeah, keep us hidden away from, I want out of sight of the ballista boys, out of sight of anybody chasing us hounds wise. If I need to traipse through a creek or something like that to deal with the dogs, I will. But getting Ori to the boat is my main focus.
If you spend a raise to tramps through the creek on your way to kind of distract your scent a little bit more, then absolutely the dogs will not accost you personally.
Perfect. All right. Let's do that, Ori. Let's get you to the boat.
All right. So we've got 1 raise, yes?
Yeah, I'm down to 5.
Perfect. I'm going to spend another danger point here.
Or not.
Or not. Or not. Or could not.
No one's making you.
But come on. I got 5 of them.
Yeah, this path is way too easy.
It's way too easy. It is a deer path. Now, deer have traversed this easily. They're very nimble, very quick. You and Ori are not deer. And as light as your feet may be, you do kind of jostle some rocks and make the path a little bit more precarious to the point where slips right off. Spend a raise to catch them.
Oh yeah.
You just get
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, I in fact, I take my cane, my sword cane,
Mhm.
and my hand immediately goes down and swoops the cane up under their arms to to stop the fall.
Mhm. Ori, at one point you were on the ground, and now you are dangling precariously off this coastal cliffside.
Oh.
I appreciate the shortcut, dear, but this is much safer.
Uh-huh.
And you bring them back up and go a little slower down the deer path. Now, as one of the rocks is falling and it falls into the sea, it gets caught by, let's say, a seagull, and the seagull takes it up into the air, and we can see the smoke rising from where Siegfried is, and we see the smoke from the flare fading, and then another one just about 10 or 15 feet down the way startles that seagull, drops the camera, and it falls in the trees, bounces on a bunch of branches, and lands where David is right now. David, what are you doing?
Oh, there's fire now.
There is fire now.
All right. Well, because it's outside my approach, it's going to cost me 2 raises to do it. But I am going to maneuver myself between the fire and the hunt.
Ooh.
So they're going to have to go through the fire to get to me.
Mm-hmm.
Which means I have 2 raises left.
Fantastic. I'm going to spend another danger point because I can. David, I would like you to take a hero point.
Oh, okay.
And I would also like you to take a dramatic wound.
Oh, because of the fire?
No, not because of the fire. As you're maneuvering yourself and going through, you're like, all right, sweet. I'm just going to get the fire in front of me. And you can hear the dogs. They've kind of stayed at a distance. They're not keen to jump through the fire. But that doesn't stop a bullet. In fact, where does it hit you?
Well, in the shoulder, of course.
On the shoulder, just
where heroes always take shots.
They always take shots in the shoulder, or like grazing on the thigh or something that's okay. You get the shot, and we see, you kind of fall back a little bit, and through the flames we can see the camera is looking directly at Alcide Mondavi, and he lowers his gun and proceeds to casually reload it as he walks around the fire to come and greet you.
Oh, how wonderful.
How wonderful. And he even calls out over the flames. It's very clever of you. You can't hide forever.
I have no intention of hiding forever.
And we kind of transition back over to Siegfried.
In fact,
Siegfried.
If you want to come and get me, you're welcome to try.
I can just as soon wait out the flames. I'm a patient man.
I heard the Vodachi were cowards, but I didn't think that they were that.
He laughs long and loud and mockingly. And we, as we transition over from that scene to Siegfried. Siegfried, you've successfully dodged the dogs, but now you're surrounded by flames.
Yeah. So that's going to be difficult. I want to use... I don't know what I'm doing. So I'm gonna use raise, and I'm going to traverse around like burning trees. I'm going to get close, but not close enough to where sticks would fall on me or limbs would fall on me, because the grasses are going to grow taller farther away from the tree. So I will also take 2 wounds from the fire.
I like that. I'm okay with that. I love how I don't have to deal any harm to you. You just do it to yourself.
He's from Eisen.
Of course.
Yeah.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
We had pirates there a minute ago, yes?
Yeah, they all went back to the ship to get the ship ready.
Can I spend a hero point and say that they left something?
Sure. What is it that they left behind?
They left a loaded firearm. It is a firearm that Siegfried recognizes.
Okay.
One that he is very trepidatious when he gets near. And that's all I'll say.
Fair enough. There is a loaded firearm on the ground waiting for you to pick it up. I would suggest you pick it up quickly, otherwise the fire is just going to ignite the powder that's already there.
And blow it up.
And blow it up.
So spend a second raise to pick it, to notice it.
To notice it in time before the fire reaches it.
So I'm down to
2 raises? Perfect. We transition back to the beach scene, just rapid fire, just cutting back and forth. Ori, you've been rescued from the deer path. You're down at the beach. The rowboat is there. The person at the rowboat looks up and is like, "It's about time you showed up. Come on, we gotta get you out of here."
Well,
Ori, do you know him?
You do
No.
not know this person.
but he seems helpful. Zoe, remind me, there were some opportunities you set out at the beginning.
Yes, there were some opportunities of traps that could be set off to guide the hunt in a different direction. Also, Siegfried has given an opportunity for the fire to block off where the dogs are going. They will find a way around to you because they have not been taken care of. Also, David has created an opportunity that the hunt will focus solely on him.
I think I'd like to activate that last one.
Okay.
I mean, I read it in my cards he was gonna die anyways.
You read it in your cards, and we kind of see that. We see the threads around Ori's aura, essentially, and one of them is a very strong, very thick thread, and you kind of grasp it and pluck it, and we see the vibrations go, and those vibrations shoot all the way to Alcide. And Alcide doesn't notice this, of course, because he's not a Fate Witch. He can't see the threads, and David can't see the threads either. But what the camera and the audience see is that pulse through the thread kind of hits Alcide, and his brow furrows because David just insulted him, and he takes that personally. We see his jaw click and set, and he lifts his fingers and whistles sharply 3 times. Siegfried and just faintly Ori and Telford, you can hear this sharp whistle. Immediately, if there's any dogs around, they stop barking, and the camera sees that they come alert, and they turn their heads to where the whistle came, and they all head towards that direction. So the only person accosted by dogs currently is David. Oh
Okay.
no.
Oh noes.
Oh no.
I'm just helping your plan that you made work better.
So you've activated that opportunity. Ori, what is the remainder of the raises that you have?
I've got 3 left.
You've got 3 left. Telford, you have
I've got 4.
4. Perfect. Siegfried, you have 2, and David, you have 2? Okay, cool. We'll kind of stay with you, Ori, so we can deplete a little bit of extra raises. You as well, Telford. You're at the rowboat. There is an elderly gentleman with an eye patch and a bandana, wearing pirate clothes, and he's like,
Sounds
come
fantastic.
on, you gotta get in the boat. Let's go.
So, Ori, I'd like to help you into the boat,
Okay.
and I'm going to put my hand on our new friend's shoulder.
Mhm.
And I don't believe we've met.
Oh, we haven't, sir.
So, Lord Alvingham, and here's what I would like to see.
It's a good thing. And nice to meet you, Lord Alvingham. I'm tall, dark, Harry.
You are definitely tall, dark Harry. And Harry, here's what we're going to do. The three of us are going to get in this boat. You're going to take us out to that ship, and you're going to do it very, very quickly.
Yep,
And-
I'm the fastest there is.
Yes, you are, but I'm a slightly bit faster. And that's when he notices my right hand has pulled the cane out, and it's at his chin.
Oh, well, now there, Mr. Lord Alvington, sir. There's no need for this.
I could not agree more. I could not agree more. So we should be on our way.
Right away, sir. As soon as he grabs both oars and just
What about
starts going.
Siegfried?
So I'd like to spend however many raises I need to be within striking distance of him as he's getting us out there.
Oh, you don't
So,
need. It's a
Okay.
rowboat. And Ori's small. You can just. You've got a sword cane. There's no raises spent there.
Beautiful.
Would you like to spend any raises to alert either Siegfried or David of the fact that you've made it to the rowboat?
I think I only care about Ori. I am so sorry. I think that is my only concern right now.
Can I spend a raise to alert them?
That would make more
Yes,
sense. Yeah.
you can.
I am going to do that because I don't actually want to leave anyone behind.
You can
Because
even
you're a
spend.
hero.
You can even spend hero points to alert them magically.
Oh, let's do that.
Mm-hmm.
A raise and a hero point, or just
A,
hero?
a raise and a hero point, yes.
I will do that. That is even better than yelling.
Ori, you are very quickly away from the beach. You could jump out, but you remember, wait, hold on. I have to let them know where they are. They can make it. And we see those fate threads again. Now, Siegfried, what color is your fate thread? Just give me one single color.
Let's go with green.
Green. And David, what color is yours?
Red.
Red. So there is two distinct threads that are connected to you that as you're pulling away from the boat are starting to unwind and fray. And you grab onto those and you tug just slightly, and we see that vibration happen again. Siegfried and David, almost at the same time, you get this like alerting sense in the back of your head of like, oh God, the boat's leaving. I gotta go. And you are compelled to head where that feeling came from. It's
That's
almost
what
like
I've been waiting for.
almost like a direction sense. You know exactly which way to go to the beach. You can spend a raise. David, you're gonna have to spend a little bit of extra raises to get to there.
Or in the middle of the fire,
Mhm.
I will being hidden by the I see that the Vidace Lord is now completely interested in me.
Mhm.
And that's when I whisper very softly, all right, now it's time for us to go to the boat. And I'm speaking to my friend.
Oh, your dark passenger.
I
How does your dark passenger manifest to the audience?
think he's a shadow. I think he's a shadow version of me.
Mm-hmm. So a shadow version of you kind of stands up behind you, and we see two hands land on your shoulders, and they are wicked looking, and they kind of pierce a little bit into your skin, and we hear this whispering voice. What do you desire?
It'd be very nice to get us to the boat.
With haste we shall.
After all, if I die, you're screwed.
semantics. And all of a sudden you feel empowered. Like you all of a sudden can just run the length of a field in the blink of an eye. You're
Through the fire.
Through the fire. just absolutely through it.
And then across the water.
Just we just see just like the camera is perched on a cliffside, and we see Ori and Telford rowing away, and Siegfried, I imagine you can spend as many raises, if not all of them, to reach the boat in time.
I'm going to spend my so both of them to reach the boat in time.
Yeah, both of
Or
them
one-
to reach the boat in time.
Both of them to reach.
Because
the-
you're
Got
a
it.
big large guy. You gotta hoof it. We see Siegfried just booking it through the water, just carving right through the resolve, diving into the boat, gets a little jostled and everything, and it keeps rowing and it keeps rowing and it keeps rowing. And then we see Ori like leaning out, like, where is David? Where is he? And we just see running through the sand, creating a little trail, and then running on top of the water, creating a small water trail, running past the boat to the ship, where you just leap up and land on the deck.
And
didn't know he was
Telford is
magic
convinced
too.
it's Ori, right? So I turn to Ori and I go, "Oh, you are good."
It was
Now-
entirely
Meanwhile,
the right way.
Siegfried's like, why can't I do that?
And as the rowboat goes to the ship, we're gonna, whatever raises are left over, if you have in, let's say, sets of 2, you can gain a hero point from that. So if you have any raises remainder, if you have up to 2, they equal 1 hero point. Perfect. And we're gonna end the action sequence. Now, the rowboat reaches the ship. The rowboat gets brought on board the ship, and the ship is getting ready to make way. We see on the beach Alcide Mondavi walk out, looking displeased, and the dogs are all next to him and behind him. And
I wave.
I wave, but it's very sad.
And that's when something in the woods moves a bunch of trees, and then moves more trees, and we see crows and blackbirds and magpies just fly away. The dogs all shrink and lay down on the ground with their heads in the sand, their ears pinned back. And Alcide just turns around, and we see this massive creature covered in moss and trees and bones, looking very lupine and cervid, which is deer. So it's got this big giant skull, and the eyes are glowing green. And we recognize the antlers because they look familiar to the ones that were hanging above the table in the hunting lodge. Thank you very much, Siegfried, for telling me that there was a Cyrnith artifact in there. I'm spending a danger point. Alcide has activated it, and the hunt is on. We see him point to the ship and say, "Bring me back my child." And the thing retches and roars and screeches and bounds over the water towards the ship. I'm going to give you a little bit of time before the next action sequence, so tell me what you're doing.
I wonder if we should go to break.
You know what? You're right. It is 9 o'clock. That's where we're going to leave off.
All right. All right, we'll be back in 10 minutes.
Okay.
Ah! Okay, we're back.
All right, everybody. Last we left off, there was a big, gigantic, menacing creature coming after you, but you don't quite know that yet. You just got off the rowboat. You're safe for the time being. And tall, dark Harry still has his hands up and is like, we made it, Mr. Lord Alvington. If you don't mind, I do.
No, it's good. It's good, sir. But who's in charge?
That man over there. And points to David.
Oh, this is your boat.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
And would we, by any chance, have cannons?
Oh, the ballista.
got the ballista.
Yes, we have cannons.
I don't. This is your ship. I don't want to tell you what to do, but pointing him that way would be wonderful.
You mean toward the thing that's? Well, actually, we don't know that it's
Toward
chasing us, right? Right.
You don't know that it's chasing you yet.
Okay.
You just know that there's a big giant fire over there, and you wave to Alcide, just like, "Hi, buddy."
Oh,
How
so
you
we haven't
doing?"
seen the critter yet?
You haven't seen the critter yet, no.
Oh, okay.
No,
Okay, never mind.
We kind of went a little backwards in time. You haven't seen the critter yet.
Got it.
But
Yeah, so
there's
I
still the
then I
ballista.
removed the blade from his from my friend.
That would be the polite thing to do.
Thanks.
I mean, someone does have a long musket. As in, taking out the bolt. Do you think someone could do that?
From here?
Like taking out the using no, never mind. That wouldn't happen. That couldn't happen.
We have nothing to worry about. We're on the boat. We're safe. We're done. The forest is on fire. Everything's fine.
No, only the forest.
And then you all look over and you see this terrible creature coming out of the woods. Siegfried,
Oh dear.
you've heard of a creature like this in Eisen. It roams the woods, searching for hunters specifically, and other predatory animals to subsume it into itself. Sometimes, or at least so the Eisen fables have told, it can be commanded to hunt down certain prey. Now, you watch as Alcide points at the boat, and that we just know exactly who they are pointing at. Totally not their child.
Yeah. Definitely not.
And you watch this thing kind of jitter and roll and move and make noise, and it runs along the beach, and you're like, there's no way it can swim. It doesn't have mass. It's full of moss and trees, and but oh god, it's walking on the waves. Oh god, we need to get out of here now. All of you witness that as it lumbers towards you.
Harry, we need to make the ship faster.
Yeah, right away, sir. Absolutely. Let's make the ship fast. Let's go. You ain't seen speed like this before, sir. And he starts going and doing his thing.
Specifically, Harry, you see that?
Yeah, I see it. Yep.
We need to be faster than that.
He lifts up his eye patch. He has a fully functional eye. Yeah, we need to be a lot faster than that thing. Okay. And he starts making way. Now,
so is this actually my ship, or I just hired this ship?
You tell me.
It is my ship.
It's your ship. You're the captain of this
That is
ship.
the right choice.
That is the correct choice. You're the captain of this ship. You know this ship. It can, in fact, outrun that creature. You just got to get it moving.
So we'll call down to Deaf Henry, who's the master, who's the gunner's master. Henry, load the guns.
What?
Load the guns. The only command he understands. I look right over at everybody else and say the only command he hears is fire. At which point the cannons fire.
Yes.
It's the only command he hears.
Yeah, it's the only command he can actually hear. Now, Deaf Harry kind of pops his head up and he's like, "What's that you say?" He's got these big, like, almost like headphones, like bandages around his ears so that he can protect himself. He may or may not, in fact, actually be deaf, but you can't tell with these big, giant, like, pretty much cotton swabs shoved in his ears. "I'm sorry you got the run, sir."
Henry, you see that?
And he looks, "Oh my God, I'm gonna go load the guns." And he runs downstairs and loads the guns. So the guns are getting loaded as we're doing this. Is there anyone else you want to command? Or do you want to talk to the PCs?
Is anyone hurt? I'm pointing at my people who just got out of the flaming forest. Anyone hurt?
Siegfried.
All right, let's call the ship's doctor.
I want to know his
I
name.
have a question.
I may have an answer. What?
Can now that question would be better saved for in character.
Then ask it in character. Let's go. You got time.
What have you got on ship? I can patch myself up.
Oh, by the way, you had a suggestion for what the doctor's name is?
Yes.
What is it?
Oh, no. I want to know. I want you to tell
wanna
me.
know
you,
what the doctor's
you want
Yes.
to know.
Yeah, the names are phenomenal. I need to know the doctor's name.
Do you mind if I give the doctor a name?
Oh yeah, sure, go.
All right. So you say, "All right, I'll get you to the doctor," and you hear this high old voice. "What's that about the doctor? Who needs to see me?" And Nan the doctor, kind of with her little cane and her little purse, comes out and she's like, "Oh, you look like you need some stitching up, young man. Come with me right now." And points her cane at Siegfried.
Siegfried begrudgingly, because he does not like other people tending to his wounds.
Now,
Walks
get on
up.
with you before the captain throws you overboard and I have to rescue you from drowning. I don't like doing that. And she
comes
looks at David. "Do you need stitching up, sir?"
No, tend to the rest of the crew first.
"All right, you come see me and we'll have tea and we'll fix that right up. Don't get shot anymore. I don't like you being a pincushion." And it comes up, just starts
It's a
hobbling away.
mutual, yes.
Siegfried, go ahead and erase that dramatic wound as Nan performs her special treatment, which is a bit of scolding, some soft hands, and a strange butterscotch treat.
Okay.
That she insists will make you feel better. Anyone else want to do anything before the creature shows up?
No.
You're like, "Oh God, no, please."
The only thing Telford's wondering is what if we paid full price for the crew? What would the crew look like? That's the only thing that Telford's wondering.
So I'll call the Master at Arms.
Sure.
The Master at Arms is a woman from the Atabean Sea.
Aha.
So she has the amazing hair, and she's dressed in an Atabean trading company jacket that she's torn the sleeves off because the sleeves are too small for her arms.
Mm-hmm.
And her name is Ta.
Her name is Ta. All right.
Yeah, it's the first Avalonian word she learned. Ta.
She comes over to you. What can I do for you, Captain?
See that? We need to prevent that from getting on the ship.
Now, why'd you go and bring that thing over here?
It's not the meanest thing I've brought on board the ship.
Nah, you're right. I remember that time we had to fight the ghost squid. Let's go, get it running. Let's come on. And she goes off and starts commanding her crew. Ori, is there anything you want to do in this moment? You do have some time.
I don't know that I've spent, like, I don't think I've spent a lot of time on boats. I think I'm very at a loss. I don't think I can pull it. I don't know what to do.
There's only one thing you need to know. It is perfectly all right to throw up over the side of the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
As long as it's over the side of the ship.
Don't throw up on the ship.
No. Mm-mm.
That's bad luck.
Alrighty. I think we're going to go into an action sequence as this creature lumbers and gets closer, and a big wave kind of helps push you guys out to sea, but this thing just charges through it like it's nothing. And we hear the roar as it comes for you. I should not have done that.
Yeah.
Oh, but we did it for the Foley, kids. Now, you have a ship. This action sequence is going to be tailored a little bit more towards that and less towards personal approaches, because you do have a ship and this thing is massive. You can do your approaches as normal, but remember that you also have a crew of people and a ship to help you. So, for example, if Siegfried, you want to go help Henry with the guns, you can go down there and use your approach to help him fire the guns, load the guns, aim the guns, shoot the guns, all the things. And so kind of with this action sequence in particular, think about the grand scheme as you're fighting this monster. Speaking of monsters, this monster has a fear rank. What that means is that it is activating that primal fear in you to flee. You need to get away from this thing. You don't understand it. You don't know what drives it. You are prey. It is the predator. You need to run. And so it has a fear rank of 3, which means that 3 dice are just out of your pool.
Oh boy.
Unless someone has an ability that allows them to ignore fear.
Unless someone has an ability that allows them to ignore fear.
Like Indomitable Will.
I will accept Indomitable Will.
So can I spend a hero point and ignore ignore the fear?
You can ignore 2 of it.
Okay.
Spend a hero point to ignore 2. So you're still going to lose 1 die because this thing is of nightmares. Even in Eisen.
Damn folk horror monsters.
Damn folk horror monsters. It's all Siegfried's fault, guys. Blame Siegfried.
So I think I know Telford's approach.
All right, give it to me.
It's going to be wits and notice.
All right.
And if I'm going to put a little salt on that combination, it's going to be really annoying, because what Telford's going to do is he's convinced that even though obviously everybody on the ship knows what the hell they're doing, Telford is going to no, you a little higher, cannon a little higher. No, that's probably better this way, and just going to like mouse around the ship telling everybody, making a little adjustment there, a little bit of adjustment here, using notice and wits. And though effective, hopefully, I'm sure it's incredibly frustrating David's crew.
Yes. Yes.
Do we come to your library and tell you how to read books?
Exactly.
All right, I know what I'm gonna do too.
What are you doing? Go ahead and take 2 for flair, Telford.
Thank you.
Well, actually, I should say, can someone give me a really quick description of panache again?
Sure. Is convincing other people to do what you want.
Mhm.
Okay. So I'm not sure if this would be better as... So this thing is really scary. I'm really scared. I'm sure other people are really scared. I don't know the first thing about doing anything on boats, but I do know some things about making people feel better. I don't know if it would be better with panache or resolve, but I want to do that and empathy.
Okay.
And I'm going to try and keep the crew calm, keep them motivated and on task. And
I absolutely love that. I will flavor it this way. Panache is your kind of pushing aside your own fear for the moment to focus on them. Resolve is I really need to dig deep and I need to remember myself in this moment as well. So you're not going to go out of your way to push beyond certain boundaries. So it's a little bit selfless and a little bit selfish.
I'm definitely going to go with panache. I think there are several things I'm trying not to think about at once.
Okay.
And the scary thing is just another one of them.
It's just another thing. It's fine. Yeah, so panache and I'm sorry, panache and empathy.
And
yes.
empathy.
Yes.
And
I love that a lot.
while I don't yeah. No.
If you want to, Ori, I will give you the chance to spend a hero point to use your magic to activate someone's arcana on the ship.
I'd love to do that. That sounds great.
That's your fate witch.
That's our fate witch. And I'll get to that in a second. David or Siegfried, do you have an approach for me?
Go ahead.
Whoop, I dropped a die.
Oh no.
Bad luck.
Bones on the ground.
There it is. Alrighty. So I'm going to go with finesse and aim.
Okay.
So I am going to be up in the rigging. Going to
Okay.
I'm going to get as high as I can, as fast as I can. And I'm going to get a bag of powder and a bag of bullets, and I'm going to do my best to distract the beast from the deck. So up, not down here. So I'm going to be trying to deal wounds to the beast.
All right. I like it. And at any point in time, your finesse and aim allows you to drop down and fiddle with cannons and help on deck. Okay. I'll accept it. I was going to try and convince you to do something else, but I actually like this. Let's go with it. So take 2 for flair. That leaves good Captain David. Let's go. What do you got?
I'm going to use, first of all, I'm going to use camaraderie because I have it.
Yes. What is camaraderie?
Which means that when I aid people, they get 4 bonus dice instead of 3, which I forgot.
Heck yes.
And I'm going to aid our Eisen friend by when he's about to climb up the mast. Say stop. Grab a leather strap, strap it around his waist, strap it around the mast. Say now go up there.
Nice.
Lifelining.
And don't look down.
Just don't look down. Love it. So take 4 extra dice, Siegfried. What is your
As for
approach?
my approach, let's see. I'm also going to try to negate the fear in the crew. So I'm going to use panache and convince.
Okay.
And I want to essentially, I'm going to be shouting commands and coordinating the crew. And I would like to spend my raises so that other people can, so that other people don't have to ditch dice for fear.
I love that.
All right. So that's the first time I'm using it. So that's 1 extra die. That's 11. And then, yeah, I have 11 dice.
Perfect. If anybody wants to spend other hero points to help other people, now would be a good time.
I'm gonna spend hero point to help myself, but I'm gonna do it with my deck, so I actually get 2.
Okay. Sounds good.
Activating my deck's ability when I use it.
And I've got 5 hero points. I'm going to spend 1 and basically turn to you, Ori, and say, this thing seems more up your alley than mine. And you've got this. You've got this.
Oh, I hope that's true.
Oh. I'm going to piggyback off of that to give you that opportunity to activate someone else's arcana. As Telford is kind of giving you the reassurance and the boost, you can start to see the threads of the crewmates, and they're all tethered together. It's almost like a cat's cradle. They're all woven in, and they're a very well-knit crew, if you'll excuse the pun. And you notice that Taz, the woman from the Atabean, she seems absolutely nonplussed by the fact that this creature is charging the ship and that it's as big as the ship. It's like a normal Tuesday for her. And you notice that you can kind of read a little bit more on that. Her arcana is from the Explorer. She has Brave as her virtue. You can activate her virtue when you are affected by fear when rolling a risk that she's involved in, which she is. During the risk, your 10s explode. Your 10s, by the way, if you roll a 10, that means that you grab another die outside of your pool and just roll it. So you just add an extra die to your roll. If your 10s already explode due to another effect, say if you have 3 dramatic wounds, for example, then your 9s explode as well. So you kind of take that and you kind of weave it and stretch it a little bit and then pluck it just enough so that she kind of stands a little bit more tall and grabs all of her hair and wraps it in a bandana and goes, all right, everybody, let's go. Come on. This ain't nothing we ain't dealt with before. It's just some stupid creature made of bones. Come on. And she rallies everyone, and you kind of feel the tense air lessen a little bit as everyone is rallied and is like, I'm still afraid, but now I'm determined. And so that has been activated.
Beautiful.
So without further ado, I believe it is time to roll the bones, and I also get some bones this time.
You have a villain. It's a villain.
It's a villain. It's a monster.
Let's
Excuse us while all of us roll our bones and do math.
It's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6.
Siegfried, you have 6?
No, sorry, I'm counting my extra dice before
Oh.
I try putting them in.
Oh, I see.
Because I'm
Zoe, I've got
'Cause I'm
5
doing it
raises, 1 unused.
Yeah, I'll take it. I'll buy it.
That puts me back up to 5 hero.
I am back up to 2 danger.
I've got 4 raises, 2 remainders.
2 remainders.
Yup.
And which ones are those?
So I've got the Ace of Wands and the 2 of Coins.
Could you read the misfortunes on
I
those,
can.
please?
So the Ace of Wands is crushed ambition. And the 2 of Coins is blind luck.
Okay.
Siegfried, holy crow.
Whoa.
Holy cow.
Dang, Siegfried.
That
Okay.
Raise is none unused.
13.
Dang, boy.
We'll check back in an hour after Siegfried manhandles this thing.
Jesus.
How do you roll dice in the chat?
So go to your character sheet,
Yeah.
John, and click on the skill you want. And if you float over the skill, it'll bring up a little die.
Oh, there we go.
And then click on that. Then choose your trait.
Got it.
And then add any bonuses. See where it has bonus die.
Yep.
And then click roll.
1 second.
Oh, I also have a gift for everyone.
Oh,
It's a hero point. Enjoy.
Ooh.
in the
Oh,
form
very
of
nice.
which card
Of
is
the
that?
Queen of Coins.
Ah, yes. Everybody take a hero point.
Oh, look at
Many-
you, Howard, with 8 raises and no unused. Very nice.
Many thanks.
What did you say the bonus? So if we already had 10s explode, what did you say we got?
You got an extra die to roll. You just got a bonus die.
But if we already
So-
had that previously when
Then
the
you're-
Arcanum was activated.
Then your 9s explode as well.
Okay.
So I'm confused. Wait, no, sorry. Brain fart.
Okay.
For those of you that are watching, everybody already knows that are familiar with this channel what a huge fan of Foundry I am. But think about how easy this makes putting together the wonderful dice pools and the
Yeah.
way that pieces it together. It's really nice.
Mhm.
And hats off to the person that created this module for
Yes.
Foundry, because this is a labor of love.
It really is. We thank you. You are not forgotten.
No, it's pretty damn cool.
Hey,
Or-
Zoe.
Yes, Ori.
I was totally wrong. I forgot that because of my ranks and something, I'm making 15s, not 10s on this.
Oh, okay.
So my numbers were incorrect. I have 6 with 1 remainder. And it
Okay.
is the 6 of Coins is my remainder.
And what is the 6 of coins?
6 of Coins is scarcity.
Scarcity. Oh.
Yeah.
I'm going to have you
Uh,
take a hero point, and I'm going to use the misfortune.
Okay.
David, Deaf
Mhm.
Harry comes up from below deck and shouts at you. Sir, we only got enough shot for 1 broadside.
Oh no.
Has Wrinkle been eating the gunpowder again?
A small lad with soot in his hair and soot all over his face and a bag of what you think is soot comes up and is like, I've been eating gunpowder against the honest.
I don't care if your mother is the queen of the northern woods. You gotta stop eating gunpowder.
I'm sorry, sir. I get hungry. I'll go to the toilet.
So I'm going
All
to turn to
right.
Ori and just under my breath go, I think you might need a new patron. Just let me know if I can help.
Wait, I hear that. I said, wait till he farts.
John, take a hero point, please.
Thank you very much.
Yes, that's right, listeners. I am the kind of GM that if you make me laugh, I'm going to reward you for it.
Yeah,
Oh,
we all
boy.
got it. It's a wonderful little mechanic that we all learned from Toon way
Nice
back when.
tune. Good call out.
Mm-hmm.
If
Alrighty.
you make the GM laugh, you get a point.
You get a point. Alrighty, everybody. I think let's get into it. By the way, the monster got 7 raises. And I don't get to buy the monster's raises. But y'all, it's gonna get real now.
Hey,
Hey,
this also might be a fun time to mention one of the
what-
cards I drew.
what are you doing? No.
Yeah.
No. What have I done? My hubris has come to haunt me.
Yeah, so this could be fun.
What is it?
Yeah,
That
give the girl the
is
fate deck. Yeah, what could go wrong?
my Dame of
Let's add card mechanic to
Wands.
7C.
a friendly
What is-
strength 5 brute squad or monster comes to aid you in this scene.
Oh.
I'd like a friendly monster, please.
So speaking of ghost squids,
Oh.
Somebody has an idea. Say it. Just say it.
Oh, I love the ghost squid.
I like
I think
Ghost
that's
Squid.
fantastic.
I also
great
had the
callback.
idea of eels.
I like ghost squid.
Okay.
So
The ghost squid.
Oh, yeah. Could I actually change that slightly?
what
Because
do we
it's
got?
supposed to be friendly. How about a ghost whale?
oh,
Ghost
beautiful.
whale.
Oh.
Orca.
I've
A ghost
spent
orca.
some nights
Ghost
on the
orca.
shore
Orca.
listening to like the whale songs and
Yeah.
trying to sing back with them.
Love it.
And I always thought the whale I was singing to was a real live whale, but
All right. Well, as this creature is running, barreling towards the ship, and you're getting ready to make way, Ori, you hear a, and everybody kind of hears that, and it echoes very surreally. And Ta goes, "Ah, Spot is here." And out from the water over the ship jumps this orca, this black and white spectral orca.
Yeah, it has one big spot.
There's one big spot, and it doesn't quite make it to like leap over the ship, but it's spectral, so it just lands right through, and you all feel, if you're underneath it, this cold rush of almost like cold water just misting you just briefly as the orca splashes back in the water. You now have a friendly orca. Oh my god.
As you do.
As one does. Give the Fate Witch the deck, they said. It'll be fun, they said.
It'll be fun, they said.
So, strength 5. All right. Siegfried, you have 13 raises.
I don't know how.
This creature is barreling towards the ship. This spectral orca just jumped out of the water, splashed you somehow without knocking you off the mast. What are you doing?
So I'm going to spend 1 raise. I'm going to 2 raises, 2 shots as
Mhm.
fat, and I have to spend a hero point for a fast reload.
Do you have fast reload?
I don't see fast reload, so no.
It would take you
So it'd be
5 raises
5.
to reload the gun. Yeah.
You've got him. I mean,
Hold on, before we
I got
go,
him, but
What do we
Go
got?
ahead.
Actually,
John.
before we go, Siegfried, instead of you going first, tell me to go first.
Okay.
Right. I
David
forget
goes
about that.
first.
I forget about that. When you have the highest initiative, you can actually pass your initiative to someone else if you so choose. Yes.
I would choose to pass on first initiative.
Yay! All right, so I have 8 raises. I'm going to spend 6 of them to negate the effects of fear.
I fucking love it. I love it. Show me how that looks. It's your ship.
As the ship is shuddering, and because we're going really fast, we're going much faster than the ship is built to go, so the ship is shuddering and everything. And there's a young not a midshipman, because we're not an Avalon ship, but there's a younger lad who's working the ropes, and he looks really, really frightened, and the camera's on him as he's trying to tie the knot and trying to tie the knot and trying to tie the knot. And then there's my hands on his wrists, and I look at him right dead in the eye and say, "Storms make sailors."
Right, sir.
And then he does the knot.
Got it. Perfect. Love it. So you're going around, and we just see these small little interactions of crew members that are just racked with fear. Like, they've dealt with the ghost orca before, but this creature they haven't seen, and they're terrified, and you just come over and you help them the best way that you know how. You've got this, and you know that they've got this. They just need to overcome that fear. I love that. Yep. Absolutely. So that brings you to...
Oh, that means he still has the most raises.
Right. But your raise count is now...
Oh, it's now 2.
Yes,
I have 2 raises.
2? Okay.
Sorry.
That's okay. You passing it back to Siegfried?
Oh, yeah.
All right, Siegfried.
All right. One shot from the barrel, and it erupts from the barrel. He lines it up as close as he can to one of the eyes. Oh.
Ooh, we lost
Uh-oh.
Zoe.
Uh-oh.
All right, while we wait for Zoe, there's a question I've been dying to ask. And John, unfortunately, you're going to be the target of this question.
Okay.
So it's fascinating for me to watch you play your own game. And I would love to know if you can pull the curtain a little bit and explain to me what that's like to just play your own design. So
I'm the forever GM. We all know what that means, right? Like, John runs things for, and if our group has a game, I'm running it, right?
Right.
So it's really, really hard to not take over the game.
I bet.
So much. Siegfried, you've shot that shot and shot me right out of the call. So
all right, it's back to you, Zoe.
You're just asking me what it's like to be the designer on the game and be a player, and it's like it's a conscious effort. It's a conscious effort to not just, I spend my raise to do this and 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 there. Scene done.
Yeah. All right. So
shot fired.
Yeah, shot fired. That I only heard the single shot, and then it cut me out. So what? Just recap really quickly what you're doing.
So he's aiming for one of the eyes.
Sure.
Like trying to blind the beast. So shot goes off. 5 raises. Yes.
To reload it real quick.
Yes, it kicks him back.
It's a big gun. Yeah, you're a big guy, but you're also in the rigging of a moving ship, and like the recoil normally would only be like a small little tap in your shoulder, but it like knocks you back, and you got to quickly reload it. Okay, so you reload it and fire again.
I'm firing again. This time aiming for the other eye.
Okay.
Trying to completely blind it.
So that's 7 raises.
We 6.
We watch the camera is focused on Siegfried as he fires and quickly reloads, puts the gunpowder in, does the thing, reloads it again, almost. I think like 30 seconds in between, and we watch both shots barrel at this thing, and one hits it in the eye, and the eye light, which is like a glowing, sickly green flame, goes out, and then the other one gets just gone instantly, and we see the creature kind of shake its head and open its mouth and roar in this guttural, nasty, wet noise as it blindly smashes itself into the back end of the ship and grabs on and starts to clamber itself on top, scrabbling at the back end. You can hear the planks creaking and that nasty movement as the thing is just clawing to get at the back now that it's completely blind.
You didn't ask permission to board.
Get off! It roars, and there's like moss and kelp and seaweed that just like ricochet onto the deck.
Siegfried, like with the jolt of the ship, is set into the lifeline, and he's like, "You're gonna have to try harder than that."
Siegfried, who's going next? I know that we have an initiative order, but I kind of like the passing around a little bit.
I think Oriana? Oriana, sorry.
Yeah.
Oriana is next.
All right.
Oriana, I'm going to give you this for free. You see the creature, and there are so many loose threads that it's like a mass of tangles, and they lash out and claw and whip as this creature is trying to scrabble up on top of the deck. It is a mass of, it is a cacophony of noise that you hear. Just all of the fate threads twisting and twining and scraping together as this thing gets closer to you.
Okay. So really quickly, I'm just looking at my curse ability, and it seems like the curse removes dice from the pool, but that wouldn't be useful right now because we've already rolled all our dice, correct?
I will say it can take raises out of the pool if you're so daring to go up and curse that monster.
That's true.
I would like to do that.
Okay.
And
spend a raise and a hero point.
I will do that. And that is going to be my 4th lash.
Oh, right. You've been taking lashes this whole time.
What are lashes?
Oh, you're going to find out.
But that is 4 is the number of that the curse affects.
Okay. So what kind of curse are you inflicting on this creature, on this thing? You can go ahead and tailor it however you wish.
So I see that it's got like a lot of moss and greenery on it. And I grab on, I reach out and I touch its faith threads and I command them to wither.
Oh boy. Okay. The camera watches as Oriana is getting closer to this creature as it's scrabbling and its claws come real close, and they reach out, grab some of the loose tangles of thread, and as soon as you do, they, like a whip, wrap around your wrist and then pull away. And we see these lashes, these scars appear on your forearm. Ooh. And they begin to bleed.
That's what lashes are.
That's what lashes are.
That's pretty cool.
You are going to take, I believe it's a dramatic wound for each lash, correct? Do you have hard to kill, Ori?
Don't think so.
As that happens, everybody on deck is going to see this. Ori, you drop down and your forearms are bleeding heavily, and you notice that the lashes that you took before on your other forearm have just continuously bled. They've bled through your clothes now and are dripping on the deck. For all intents and purposes, Ori is now helpless and can be killed. I am going to spend a danger point, and I'm going to spend all of the monster's raises. And give me one moment as I set this up. The creature smashes its claw down over Ori and begins to drag as its back legs can't really grab hold of the ship, and the ship is starting to tilt this way as the creature's weight is bringing down on it, and it begins to claw and drag Ori with it as it is about to fall off the edge of the ship, taking Ori with it. Any hero may spend a hero point and all of their raises to rescue Ori.
Yeah, I'll do that right now. Telford does it.
Go for it.
Telford, show us how you do this.
Yeah, so Telford running around saying, trying to give little nitpicky tips here, little tips there, and then realizes that the one concern he's had, equal to his own, though he would never admit it to anybody else, is taking care of Ori. And when this all starts to happen, the claw comes down and everything, I am going to use my approach, my wits and my notice, to try to find the weakest point in this thing's bone structure on the hand and the wrist and everything, and very uncharacteristically jumping on top of this hand, taking my sword cane and trying to sever any type of connection between the hand and the wrist. And this is why we're here. This is the only reason this is happening, and just stabbing and trying to disconnect the hand from the wrist.
Love it. So now Ori has cursed this thing to wither. So you notice that one of the fingers is just made of roots and moss, and it is just slowly decaying and crumbling away as it's being dragged. You get on top of it, stab into it, and it just crumbles into ash. And Ori is left behind as the rest of the claw falls off the ship and it falls into the sea. And we hear it as I'm just going to go ahead and give you all 3 hero points and end the scene as the ghost orca just tackles this thing, and we see these splashes and the as it just gets torn apart by this ghost orca, and all of the people on the ship cheer. And Telford, you're there with Ori, and they are unfortunately helpless. They're bleeding out. You got to get them to the doctor now.
Nan?
So Siegfried is going to drop as fast as he can from the top,
just
all the way to the deck.
Big shadow just starts to
So
beware of falling Inishmen.
superhero landing.
So, and I'm going to, because it's outside of my approach.
Yeah,
I'm going to spend an extra die. So and what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stop the bleeding, whatever I can. I know that I can't heal her, but as a hunter, I know fast ways to patch somebody up.
Right.
So, would you say getting on the deck would cost a raise without getting hurt?
I would actually say that I've kind of ended the scene prematurely because narratively it makes sense, and we are unfortunately running out of time. So no more raises. You just drop down, run over to Ori, administer, that field medic kind of support as both you and Telford get her to Nan, which is down below decks, and you sail off away. Yep. We are going to have just a small little scene. We're going to rewind time a few days. And David, you're standing on the edge of this cliff with Alcide Mondavi. And he doesn't have a gun. He doesn't have a crossbow. He doesn't have his dogs. There's nothing. And he's just standing there looking out at the ocean. And he looks over at you and he says, I trust you'll be very discreet about this.
Very discreet.
Wonderful. I am unfortunately going to have to put on the biggest show that I've put on so that I can allay suspicion from my wife, as I'm sure you know.
Mm-hmm.
She's
very insightful.
That's a word for it. Don't tell me where you're bringing them. I don't want to know.
I will not.
Very nice.
Promise me that they will be safe and taken care of.
A fate witch outside of Vadache? As safe as possible.
And we see just the faintest little smile of Elchide as he is looking out at the ocean. Wonderful. You can expect your payment in 5 sails. Should you escape, of course. And he gives you a wink and walks off the cliff back towards the lodge.
Dun dun dun.
Dun dun dun.
Dun,
And that's
dun,
where we're
dun.
gonna cut.
Oh, that's great. Let's go to credits and we'll talk on the other side. We'll be right back. Bring us back. So Zoe, talking about John's comment about Forever GM, on this channel, I'm the Forever GM, which makes this such a huge gift to be able to play instead of running the game. But one of the things that I like to do at the end of a session is I like to ask questions of the players, because if you're like me, like you're just so curious how it landed, right? You've put so much time and effort and preparation. You have been nimble, listening and trying to adapt whatever little plans you had as they get destroyed by the comments that we made and the way we spend our raises. So I'm going to hand it over to you, and I would love to know what you want to know from each of us.
Well, as you all know, if you are GMs yourselves, you know that any plan that you bring to the table is immediately destroyed upon player contact. I did spend a little bit of time prepping, but it was mostly contingencies. I knew where I wanted the scene to go. I knew how it was going to end. I just needed to get there. And frankly, I wanted to know, first and foremost, did all of you have fun?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yes.
That was amazing.
Yes.
That was great.
That is,
I saw it all play in my mind theater, which is the best compliment I can give.
I do enjoy theater of the mind a lot. From Ori, from Quinn specifically, playing a Fate Witch, how was that experience, being able to use a completely different mechanic from what is normally taught, and also being able to really just change the way how the world interacts with you?
Oh, it was incredible. It was definitely a little stressful. I don't know that it's the best for my first time playing. Like, it was a whole additional layer I had to familiarize myself, and there was definitely a little bit of, I'm missing some of your descriptions because I have this whole sheet of paper that I need to reference because I just drew this card and that card, and I need to see what they do. So it was a lot, but it was so cool being like, yes, there's a ghost orca here now. Like,
And
that's really awesome.
delightful. I love to hear that. Keith, you specifically played a monster hunter. Were you surprised that I gave you a monster to fight?
Yes and no. I was not expecting that kind of monster. That was, yeah. That was scary, I have to say.
And you know what?
I was not.
All thanks
Sorry.
to you.
It's all your fault.
I'm not denying that.
Craig, playing a sort of courtier who is more versed in the political, how was it having to have a heroic moment? Like, how was that for you?
So what's a lot of fun about playing a non-combat character is figuring out how can you impact combat. And I'm going to blow a little smoke up John's ass here for a second. What's great about this system is that there's a lot of systems where I'm out of the game, right? If I'm not healing as a support character, then I'm out of this portion of the game as a face character. But the way that the raises are built, it allows me to say, here's my approach and where can I spend that approach? So that was great. And then, and I feel bad if I steamrolled anybody, but like it made total sense to me, right? That I would notice, and this is what's great about the combinations, John, is that I can look at my I can look at my traits and my skills and say, how can that apply right now at this moment? So to answer your question, Zoe, it was really cool to find it to fit, right? So like I was still in line with my approach, but also out of character in a lot of ways. It was fantastic. And I really appreciate designs that allow that flexibility, that allows somebody like Siegfried to have a huge impact in combat and in all the I mean, this whole episode was dangers, right? It was one danger after another, and the obvious person to deal with that is Siegfried as the combat ready person. Yet Ori had a huge impact. I had a huge impact. David had a huge impact, and that's good design and good GMing.
Thank you. I really enjoyed the fact that earlier you had said, no, I'm just going to help Ori. I'm not going to help anybody else. And we got to see that moment in fruition in real time. And that's like my bread and butter. I love things like that. John, you created the game, and I'm sure you have some notes for me later, but how does it feel to play the game that you made?
It's fun because what I was just telling a friend this morning. I was like, being a GM, I'm not like a people watcher where I go to someplace and watch people. But when I run games, watching people is like a skill. As a GM, you have to like looking at people and going, are they engaged? Are they not engaged? Are they, what's going on? And so watching someone else run the game is like the same thing, but it's different because you're like, okay, she's doing it this way. Why is she doing it that way? Oh, that's interesting. I didn't think of that. That's, and things like that. So, and really what it comes down to is less, you didn't do it the way that it's in the book, because there's that sidebar in the book that says, yeah, you can totally, run this game any way you want. Right. Oh, and the cat's right there. And but other than that, yeah, I mean, it's watching people run the game differently within all the games that I've made, has always been interesting. It's always been fun to watch people run the game and go, oh, they got that out of that. That's interesting. Okay. And sometimes it's even better than the way it was written.
It's got to be neat, John, to create an instrument and watch other people play it.
Oh yeah, I remember when we were the L5R Legend of the Five Rings collectible card game, when we did the first LA tournament. our first tournament, right? And my friend Steve Sorner, who Zoe's met, brought the Muhammad Ali Lion deck, which will mean something to people out there because he invented it. He invented the Muhammad Ali Lion deck. And Dave Williams, who's the lead designer on the game, and I wrote all the flavor text and the characters and the story design. We're both looking at it, and Dave is like watching Steve's deck work.
Oh, it's so cool.
And I lean over and go, "You didn't think your game could do that, did you?" And he was like, "It is so cool."
Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. So Zoe, traditionally here on Third Floor Wars, we like to have a random question generator. So it's a small algorithm I wrote in Python. So if you'll just give me a second. So I've got a random question and it's for you, believe it or not. So if I really enjoyed the game that was being played tonight and I would love to hear more of this game, but I don't want to watch video. I would like something maybe I could do while I'm doing the dishes or the gardening. Are there any podcasts you could recommend?
You know, it's funny that you ask me this question because
Totally
I was prepared for random questions. However, you've really thrown me for a loop. I have no idea how I'm going to answer this question. I think there may or may not be a place that you can go to listen to more 7th Sea content and maybe even learn the game a little bit more as we delve into them certain episodes. I think it might be called The Writer's Room, a 7th Sea podcast, something along those lines. I don't know. Go find it on your favorite podcatcher, I guess. Also, I make dice. I don't know.
So Flora, it's two things. One, what I love about Zoe's podcast is not only do you get really engaging, wonderful actual play, but she does an amazing job of pulling back the curtain, which allows players and narrators to learn the game, which you know I'm a huge proponent of. And two, her dice are gorgeous. So you just got to go check that out. You got to go check that out.
I was using her dice.
Yay!
Oh, they're beautiful dice.
I was.
Mhm.
So last but not least, John, there's a lot of people that are watching right now that are dying to play this game. Where do they go?
They go to chaosium.com.
And if you want to help the podcast, because we are now officially supported by Chaosium, you can go and use the Writer 10, all capitals, no spaces, Writer 10 for 10% off your next purchase. 10.
That's amazing.
So you can go get the book, the PDF. For
Go get the
10%.
PDF, 10% off. Go get it and help us.
All right.
Help you.
This was a pleasure, and it's not the last time I think, Zoe, that I'm going to try to talk our two podcasts into collaborating. This was great, and John, can't thank you enough, man.
Hey, I had fun, so yay!
All right, and Keith and Quinn, you got to promise to come back and play again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Wonderful. All right, take care, everybody.
Be safe
Bye-bye.
and well.
Howdy, friends. Thank you for watching. All our content is archived and organized in playlists on the Third Floor Wars YouTube channel. Check it out. And if you could like, follow, subscribe, and even set your notifications to this channel on YouTube and Twitch, we'd appreciate it, and it'll make sure that you catch all of our content. I talk with creators, designers, and experts across the gaming landscape in every episode of our podcast, Tabletop Talk. Open up your favorite podcatcher and search for Tabletop Talk from Third Floor Wars. Support your creators. They make the content you love, and it's your support that makes it happen. If you want to help us, go to Third Floor Wars on patreon.com, and you can help us for as little as $1 a month. Thanks again. We'll see you next time. Take care.